you have to take everything head on. You have to tackle not only the layout of the streets and the depths of the blocks and the sizes of the plots, but the architecture itself, and really question why are houses generally, 3 up, 3 down, or 4 up, 4 down, or the idea of a house is a living room, a kitchen, a dining room, and 3 bedrooms and a bathroom. And that model hasn't changed in 50 or 100 years, and yet the world around us has changed radically. We as a kind of society has forgotten that the laying out of cities is actually design. You tend to think design is design of a house or a product, but actually cities are designed. So when we tackle projects in the suburbs or out-of-town places, the first sense is to bring a kind of urban density to a suburban place. There's, for me, the equation that being near the countryside means low density is kind of nonsensical. There's absolutely no reason why you can't build densely right up to the edge of the countryside. And housing in particular has been in a sort of rut since probably the 20s or something, when the sort of modern project came along and a building type was established that hasn't really evolved. That kind of house was devised sometimes before electricity, definitely before the internet, and sometimes even before the car. But that model hasn't changed. This idea of the house that has 3 up, 3 down, living, kitchen, dining, and 3 bedrooms, that hasn't changed. And so I think my first instinct is to kind of reinvent that model. How can we completely rethink that model? And so, for example, at Newhall, a principle I sort of brought forward is that every house should have a workspace in the ground floor so that people can work from home and they can have their eyes on the street. So it changes the kind of DNA of the suburb development from a bedroom community of houses that are empty during the day and used at night, into a place where people can live and work throughout the day and feel part of the life of the street. And then the other idea was to change the house plot from 5 meters wide and 20 meters long to a plot more or less 10 meters by 10 meters square. And this creates a smaller urban block, but a much bigger potential to do an interesting configuration for the house itself. And so that kind of led to a packing of courtyard houses, and when you're packing houses quite densely, it's quite tough when all of the geometries are orthogonal and everything is, sort of square and boxy, because you have views onto brick walls, and so the idea was to modify the geometry to allow more light into the courtyard house, outdoor spaces, and to permit views out to kind of alleviate the sense of density.